and welcome to Szeged here in Hungary. And a fantastic moment for the world of canoeing. We have live canoeing kayak sprint competitions back on the water. Since the coronavirus hit hard in March, the whole schedule was cancelled or postponed. But for the moment, there's some light at the end of the tunnel as the athletes are out of hibernation and raring to go. First up, the K1 Women's 200-metre Final A. And away they go. Strong start initially from Lutz. Riding in number 2 lane. Just edging ahead of her compatriot. Without a Lutz, but can she find a strong finish? Just edging towards and just about pips it. Well, it was tight until the very end, but Anna Lutz waits for confirmation. She's looking hopeful. Well, the K2 200 bronze medalists at the World Championships here 12 months ago.
There were some very good athletes too. For example, from the last year's World Champs finally, there were some. So I'm very happy that I could win now.
And it's the sun now that's come out to kiss the water. Underway in the C1 Men 1000 Final A. Here's the split. Adrien Barr in early pacey set, but coming under pressure. Was actually disqualified in the 2016 Rio Games in the C1 1000 metre final, but here it's nothing but joy. And really, you can see almost the surprise, Shamshurin and others, as he burst through. Adrien Barr had led from the off. Taccini managing just to nick in front of the Frenchman to finish second behind. So the K1 men's 1,000 metre final, and host rider battling Kopash, but we've already seen shocks can come. It's actually not a bad start from Guillaume Berger. There is Pimenta. So far, it's a fabulous start for Berger. He's gone out hard, but to be careful not to leave the powder dry for too long. So up to the final 500 meters. Fernando Pimenta with just over a 2-second lead. Well, he's picking up on Pimenta, but it's just too late. And the 2-second gap in the end was enough for, ran out of steam, Etienne Hubert. Nowhere to be seen in a battle for the podium. Kopash, I can see Pimenta saying he knows how he feels.
I feel so happy to turn back to win gold in K1 1000 because it's a special year, and win here in Szeged, in a hometown from canoeing, where we listening and feeling the support every meter. It's a fantastic feeling. Pimenta is back, what we need after this hard season, and I'm so happy.
2020 was a complicated year, first with the quarantine, and after the announcement that the Olympics would be postponed. But it was a relief for everyone. Anyway, it made it easier for me to deal with the situation. 15 days, though, after quarantine, I injured myself while mountain biking. I fell on my shoulder, ligaments ruptured. So I went back to 3 weeks without kayak, my shoulder completely immobilized. Well, it took a while to deal with that too. But once it happened, well, you know, I was eating 2 or 3 chocolate bars. I felt better. And I was able to really focus back on my training. It allowed me to play a leading role at a national level, and therefore to be here in Szeged. Well, the Olympics are still a magical event. This will be, I hope, my 3rd. So, of course, I have a different approach. I wouldn't say I'm jaded, because it's still the Olympics. It's every 4 years, so that's only 3 times in the end. That's not a lot, but it's always the magic of the games. Well, with the delay of the Olympics, we had an additional year, an Olympic year. And all this happened after the winter preparations, so the biggest part of the work was already done. Well, I chose to use this year and to prepare myself anyway. Firstly, the national circuit, then here in an international field. After that, I'd take a break and rest, and hopefully I'll start again on a new season. That, well, I hope it'll be more normal. I practiced as usual, but it was a little bit different regarding mental preparation. We were maybe a little less involved than during an Olympic year. We're far from the deadline, but we remain focused on it, and we're not done at all. We won't spend 3 months, certainly, without practicing. Yeah, it's true that postponing the games also adds another year to a very experienced athlete. Not to say elderly like me. It's an extra year, so it has to be handled a bit differently. You know, I'm not 20 anymore. Mentally, it's not much of a problem. I still have the will, fun on the water. In the end, I don't really want to quit, so it extends for a year. But obviously, I'm aware my body is getting older, that I can't do just whatever. Recovery, for example, is a key part of preparation, and a lot of things to set up to be able to play with the kids who are coming through. It's a golden start for the Hungarians. Well, we're underway. It's a fast enough kickoff from Andrea Domenico De Liberto, the Italian 8, but the rest of the field's starting to. And he's just getting pushed down here. It could be a surprise on. And I think it is De Liberto. What a ride from the Italian. Well, he looks certain, and certainly we saw him make such a quick start, and just waiting for either Beaumont or Drago Salozjevic to come through, and in the end, they never did. This is Madia taking a brilliant second.
I have this dream about winning a World Cup and maybe other best competition, and it's very strong race in the final of September, because this period is a period for a journey in the canoeing period. So it's strong. There are so much wind, cold, so not really good for the competition.
As we look at the C2 women's 500 meter final A, Corbera, having finished 3rd in that C1 500 meter final that Lausanne won. That's an early lead for the Ukrainians. Their namesake, Ita Otero, trying to snatch it on the line. And they have managed to come in second. Pre-race favorites. So, domination from Ukraine, plus 2.38 seconds. Moldova taking the silver just by 0.06. Chile just held off the boat of Spain. So next up, the K1 500 meter women's final. The K1 women's 500 meter final underway. Emis Kohalmi and Dora Bodogni. Moa Wickbird, but this time trying to lead from the front. Both scattered around, but it's still pretty tight. But it might have been pipped by Isabel Contreras. We'll have to wait and see. Very even matched final. Just 0.04. Joana Vasconcelos taking the gold ahead of Isabel Contreras.
Hi, I'm Nevin Harrison. I race women's canoe for Team USA, and I'm the world champion. Last year, I was nobody, and I never raced senior, and I was from America, so nobody thought I was going to do well. But this year, people know my name, so it's a different kind of pressure. But now I have something to live up to, and I think that it adds really good motivation. Life as a world champion has been such a dream come true. I've been given so many awesome opportunities that I never would have gotten in any other way. And it's just been fun because I've been able to dedicate my whole year to just training. A little bit of school, but mostly I've been able to do training camps all year. And I've had a lot of time to improve and work on my sport. Having women's canoe in the Olympics is, I think, a really big deal because men have been in it for so long. And I really try to advocate for women's rights on my social media platforms and in everything I do. So being a part of the first time is so incredible, and I'm so excited to represent women all over the world and hopefully make them proud. When I think about the Olympics, I am really scared and nervous. I think every athlete that ever races in the Olympics is a little bit terrified, but I think it's also such an incredible opportunity that you can't let nerves and fear cloud how amazing it is. And I really hope that the world can make it happen next year with everything that's going on. The pandemic definitely had a pretty big effect on me, but I think I was pretty lucky because I was able to keep on the water for most of the year, and I know a lot of athletes couldn't do that. I was so excited for the Olympics, and I was training so hard, and I had such a good training plan going, but it kind of all stopped in March, and that was really hard and disappointing and a little heartbreaking, but I'm trying to see it as something positive and something to grow from. I just have another year to train, and this year being at the World Cup racing, I don't feel ready for the Olympics yet, and I think having another year is going to make it really a lot better.
Women back on the water with a C1 women 200 meter. Underway, it's a very slow start from Stefanica Urso. Powerful from Antia Hakom. In the middle of the race. And Harrison started to pick up speed. Seems to have bulked up since a year ago. Big struggles for elsewhere.
As far as we can see, Nevin Harrison is coming up to the front. She's in the green.
Towards the finish, it's between those two, but Harrison right to the edge. Oh, it's an absolute nose between them. Slightly behind. And it's Harrison by 0.02.
Yeah, I think the pressure is still there, if not stronger now, because I was able to do it again. I definitely felt the pressure when I was warming up and getting ready, because I felt like I needed to get a gold, and I'm really glad I did. But yeah, I think the pressure is similar, if not more. for the games next year after all of this. But, you know, now I have been able to see how talented and quick the other girls are getting.
So here's our lineup for the K2 men 1,000 meter final. So Spanish pairing Marti and Rodriguez in lane 3, already gold medalists this weekend, but up against their compatriots Francisco in lane 6, the reigning silver medalists from the World Championships a year ago. It's the French world bronze medalists. So France out in front, it's Hungary. It's going to be a close run thing, but it looks like France are going to come through, and it's gold for Hubert and Kelly. Well, they were third a year ago at the World Championships, but a year on, it's top spot for the French duo. Italy look to have come through in the K2 men 1000. Beccaro and Burgo taking silver just ahead of Cuberos and Pena.
During this race, we try to do the best. Yes, at this moment, it was we are in September 2020, and now the goal is Tokyo 2021. So during this competition, we did the best for us, and now is to do the same for Tokyo. And I think, and Cyril thinks too, that we can do it. And the best is to take some pleasure on the boat. And this one we can do. So we have the this goal together.
She is Lies Broeks and she is Armin Peters, and we are Team Belgium. We are already qualified for the Olympics in Tokyo 2021 now, so we're really excited. Last games we missed by just one spot, so yeah, we're really happy and we really want to show ourselves and do as best as we can. It's a pity that we need to wait one more year, but I think we can still improve in that year, so I don't think it's bad for us. The key of improvement this year, I'm not sure. I think that we've been training a lot, same as last year. Maybe not really physically that we improved, but maybe more mentally, because it was a very unstable year. You had to adapt to everything. Even this week it was adapting, so you have to be flexible. To be honest, I felt a bit stressed coming here because it's been so long, like 12, 13 months since we've been competing, and you sort of lose confidence. But then you get back out there and you do what you love and you have your partner by your side, and then you just take off where you left off last year, and I think, yeah, that's good. And it's nice that we have now a chance to compete again, because it's been a long while, so it's good to have this before next year.
Ready to get underway, and off we go. None of the winners. Zenka, but this time in lane 5. And the Belgians have stolen a march. And a phenomenal finish in the 2015 European Games in Baku. The senior K1 5,000 meter, 13th in the K1 500, but this time part of a duo that have taken gold here.
Yeah, it was a really close race and we didn't start so well, but that's what always happens with us. So we know that we just need to keep on going and we believe in ourselves, and it was good enough to take the gold, so that's really nice.
Certainly won't want to suffer the same fate as Hajdu and Fekete did in their pairing final. Fekete falling out, has had bronze here in Szeged before, but that was way back in 2011. Almost full second ahead of the Romanians to take the gold. And in the end, Hungary it's the Russian pairing of Ilya Pervukin and Kirill Shamshirin who have taken the gold. Adolf and Feje, though, doing brilliantly. So terrific for the Russians, almost a second ahead of the Hungarian pair, with Romania third. So here are the K4 women's 500 meter final. Serbia, Spain, France, Russia, Ukraine. Double opportunity for the hosts. And underway here in the K4 women's 500 meter final. Very quickly start to run out of water, but here comes the Romanian boat in lane 8. Ukraine, France and Russia, with Hungary in fourth. Ukraine with already, it's going to be tight, but it is gold for Ukraine. France with silver, and Russia, well, there they now can relax. The French had that very slender lead early on. 4.9 seconds ahead of the French. And as mentioned, it could be a glorious summer of kayak and canoeing, with the Olympic Games and World Championships missing some of the best in the world here, but still high quality field, and we're underway. It's Ukraine as they look for double. But once again, Ukraine and France battling, but this time it's the tricolor that will fly high as they celebrate. This time, well, he'd love to see that back, but Ukraine pipped this time in a reverse of the women's final. And it's France with victory, 0.55 seconds ahead of Ukraine.
We did a very good race, a very good start, and after, in the middle of the race, we made very simple things, and it was really not really easy, but it was really fine for us to paddle like this. And at the end, we have enough energy to come back and win just in front of Ukraine. So we are really, really happy of this race.
Thanks for joining us. We'll hope to see you back on the water very soon. Goodbye.